Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Hope y'all have had a great weekend, a great Saturday. I got y'all an update on what is now Hurricane Henri. It has the classic look on satellite imagery, which is what you're looking at right now, of a classic low-end hurricane, which is what it is, a 75 mile per hour Category 1 Hurricane Henri here. It could potentially get upgraded to an 80 mile per hour storm by the time some of you all watch this. There's still I'll say a 3 to 5 hour period where it could intensify. It's over that Gulf Stream waters right now, where the sea surface temperatures are still well into the 80s, and it's trying to intensify as we speak. As you can tell, it's trying to get an eye going right here. Not a defined eye like you see in major hurricanes, but you're seeing bubble up and convections popping up right here around the center. There's been some interesting data that came in just about 10 to 15 minutes ago from hurricane hunters that had a chance to fly into the storm just recently. They're still into the storm, so we're going to show you that, and it's signifying an intensifying hurricane right now. So it might get upgraded, and I think this hurricane is starting to reach its peak before ultimately making landfall here in the next 12 hours, so 12 to 18 hours. So if you guys have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I make videos every single day. I try to keep y'all updated, especially in times like this. And like the video if you like it. And thank y'all for the amazing support. I picked up quite a bit of followers today, subscribers, and I'm just trying to grow my platform out to other areas of the country. So hopefully a lot of the people I picked up today were from the New England area. That's what I was shooting for. So thank y'all for just relying on me to get y'all information. So thank y'all. And so here we go. So let's get going with this. As you can tell, it has your classic look of a low-end hurricane, basically. So you look at water vapor loop here. It shows the winds coming out, basically surging out of the northwest and moving southeast, and then they loop around, and then they shoot back up to the northeast out of the southeast. That is a classic upper trough digging down. What that is doing right now, it's just interacting with Hurricane Henri, which is obviously right here. It's helping to steer it north, which ultimately at this range right here, if it's going north, it's going to hit land. So you guys basically in Connecticut, Long Island, especially eastern areas of Long Island, you know, it's crazy. I've seen a lot of stuff on Twitter today and social media. Looks like a lot of people just aren't going anywhere. But I did see a lot of videos of people who were evacuated. But there's a lot of people on the eastern tip of Long Island who are actually, as we speak, just chilling on the coast, trying to catch some last second sun before the sun goes down. So that was cracking me up a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, I'm the same way. I would probably just hold it out and probably stay there myself, honestly. But this is a dangerous storm, and I hope you are taking it serious up there, as it is really looking like the landfall is going to tick east a little bit here, and it potentially can make landfall maybe around Block Island into Rhode Island. So here we go. Let's look at the latest recon data. I'm going to try to update this as we're rolling here. This is the center of the storm. Check it out. They have found a sub 990 millibar low pressure here. That is the sign of a strengthening storm. The last update from the 5 p.m. update was a 991. So it's still deepening. It's still strengthening. They might upgrade this to an 80 mile per hour storm here, maybe in the next 10 to 15 minutes from the 8 p.m. update. But check out. This is the area of the storm was supposed to probably have more of the weaker areas, the weaker winds. You know, a lot of people are talking that the strongest winds are going to be on the east side of the storm. So it's very interesting that they sampled such strong winds right here in the 55 to 65 knot range here. That is hurricane force winds. It's around 70 to 75 mile per hour, maybe 80 mile per hour winds. I'll be interested to see if there'll be some more recon data from the hurricane hunters that maybe fly into this quadrant of the storm, the southeast, the eastern areas of the storm, where it is predicted right now that this is the most intense part of the storm. And if you go back and look at satellite visual here, it visually looks like the worst part of the storm, the most intense part of the storm. But they have not sampled that part of the storm yet, so we don't quite know. As you can tell, there is a dip right here where they flew through the center of the storm. And it's a sub 990 millibar storm now. So well, we have a pretty intense hurricane. You know, I say that like it's Category 3 hurricane, but it's still a strengthening storm right now. And it still will continue to probably strengthen somewhat, as the center of the storm is probably right in this area. And it still has to go over this blob of pretty warm waters of what we call the Gulf Stream that stretches all the way here in the northern Atlantic this time of the year. But then there is a sharp cutoff in sea surface temperatures. Basically just south of southern New England, that's in the 70s. So much cooler waters, and it will not be able to strengthen anymore because of that. Tropical cyclones cannot strengthen and see surface temperatures in 70 degrees. So that is definitely some cooler temperatures. So we'll look at the latest update, and let's see if there's been another update since I started this video. I don't think there has. No, it's still the 5 p.m. update, so it's still a 75-mile-per-hour storm. Like I said, by the time some of y'all watch this, it may get upgraded to 80-mile-per-hour storm in any minute here, since it is starting to show signs of strengthening. Well, it is strengthening. It's moving pretty quick at about 18 miles per hour, the north-northeast. This will probably shift a little bit to the more of the north, and then maybe the north-northwest as it's being interacted with the trough and getting pulled in. But as you can tell, we'll get a little bit closer look here too. The hurricane warning's up for about 60 to 70% of Long Island, and then the coastal areas of Connecticut and Rhode Island, and areas of southeastern Massachusetts, and you got tropical storm warnings up even in New York City, so, and the outlining areas on both sides. So hurricane moving in, guys. So this is a storm surge. So obviously you know that hurricanes circulate like this. So obviously you have offshore flow here, where you have probably the weaker storm surge, and onshore flow here. So that's why even if it makes landfall right here, which is where they're liking it to make landfall, and kind of plowing right into Rhode Island, that's why you see all the 3 to 5 feet on this side of the storm of storm surge in Nantucket Sound and the Bay Area of Rhode Island. But there is, from what I hear, a lot of areas of eastern Long Island that are very big time storm surge prone, especially when y'all get these nor'easterns this time of the year. So Long Island Sound, the water's going to get shoved into this area as the storm begins to kind of tilt northwest and start to move northwest. So shoving the waters into Long Island Sound, causing coastal floodings for sure here. Moving forward here, you look at the latest rainfall forecast. The interesting part of the storm is they're forecasting the most intense winds to be on the eastern side circulation, but the most rain to be on the, but the most rain to be on the western side circulation. And I think the reason of that is because it's going to interact with that trough, and I believe it's going to enhance rain totals. There's a big question mark of whether the remnants of Henri will kind of just head towards Maine and go back out to sea, or either they will kind of get lost in the trough and enhance rainfall and cause a flooding condition here, and even in areas in Pennsylvania and more northern areas in New York and New Jersey. We have to watch that scenario because it could be a big time flooding scenario. But you can tell the moderate risk is all east of where Henri is supposed to make landfall. So, the National Weather Service is picking up on this, where you have a moderate risk of flash flooding here in 25 miles of any given location in this area. So this is where the most intense flooding can occur and will occur likely. As far as tropical storm force winds, this is going to continue to inch deeper into southern New England. You now have anywhere from a 70 to 100% chance of seeing tropical storm force winds, which is anywhere from 40 miles per hour to 74 miles per hour. So you're going to have periods and hours on end, probably, well, not hours on end, but probably a few hours where you're going to have tropical storm force conditions, and you're going to have gusts that go over hurricane force conditions here. So there's going to be power outages. There's going to be storm surge issues. If you live along any of the coastal areas in Connecticut, Long Island, and Rhode Island, and southeast Massachusetts, you're going to experience issues. And I know this isn't super uncommon for this area, because I know nor'easterns alone themselves cause major coastal areas and obviously strong winds, but this is more of tropical origins, and this is shoving right into inland, and it's not just kind of skirting out here. So it's a little bit different than a nor'eastern. It's jamming itself right inland. It's not just kind of skirting out the sea. So going forward here, you look at, I feel like the National Weather Service in Boston has a great graphic here. The thing that sucks here is honestly the tropical storm warnings that you see here in the just the solid red colors, and then the hurricane warnings, the colors aren't much different, but you can tell the pink areas where you have the coastal areas of Rhode Island and parts of Connecticut, and then a good chunk of Long Island are under hurricane warnings, and all the outlining areas, even inland, are under tropical storm warnings. So if you see your county here, know where you're at and know what warning you're under. Either way, there's going to be power outages and nasty weather all through this area. And obviously, you see the storm surge warnings anywhere from 3 to 5 feet of storm surge anywhere in the purple shaded areas, obviously highlighting the coastal areas. So you look at the latest GFS here, and this moves this through, and almost all models like anywhere from eastern Long Island to to Nantucket. So somewhere in between is where it's going to make landfall. And so really liking the idea of moving the center of the storm itself, moving into Long Island. But you see most of the nastiest weather right here is on the western side of the storm as far as rainfall. They're saying the stronger winds are going to be on the eastern side of the storm. It's going to be interesting to see how much this verifies. You look at the latest HWRF model. It's starting this off way too strong. It's not going to be a 972 millibar storm as you get into Sunday morning. It's probably going to be probably 10 or 15 millibars higher than this. But it does a great idea of showing where the most intense rainfall will be, which will be on the east to northeast quadrant of this eye wall, if you will. But the nastiest winds are going to be on the eastern side. If I get my directionals mixed up, my bad, guys. So the northwest, the west side of the circulation, and the nastiest winds are going to be on the east side circulation. So the heaviest rain is going to be for you guys in Connecticut, probably, and Long Island, and things like that. Then it weakens pretty quickly. So it's going to be interesting going forward. I feel like we can get a good idea with the HWRF model as far as wind speeds, and it shows those winds at around the eye wall, basically moving into Block Island. Stress enough. If anybody on Block Island, you know anybody there, definitely reach out to them, because it looks like the center of the storm is going to go right over you guys. But check it out. The same areas where I'm seeing people vacationing and just chilling on the beach this evening here on the eastern areas of Long Island are the same areas by tomorrow morning that's going to get blasted by probably 50 to 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. I'm not laughing. It's just a trip. I almost kind of laughed when I saw it, because to me, I would probably be the same way. I'd probably just hunker down and just take it. But that's just me. I'm an energy junkie, and I enjoy stuff like that, being a storm chaser myself. But it's like in the center of the storm to move over the far eastern areas of Long Island, and then moving in, plowing right into eastern areas of Connecticut. So with some nasty, the 40 to 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gust, and maybe sustained winds at 30 to 40 miles per hour. So this is going to be an interesting storm, guys. So hunker down out there. That's my latest update. It might be my last update. I don't know if an update in the morning is going to do much when y'all are obviously going to be under the gun at that point. And most people in this area will unfortunately be without power. So hopefully it's not as bad as what it's predicted. And just hunker down if you're up there. But thank y'all for tuning in, and y'all have a blessed and safe evening, and stay safe out there, guys.